Welcome back, everybody. We shall continue. Welcome back. So, what was next on our little list of things to do? Food was next, wasn't it? We needed to cook. So let's carry on up the map. We've got some food to cook, haven't we? Yeah. Eat that one if it's not dead yet. Eat that one off. We need to cook and we need to eat. Sorry, and sleep. Couple of huts and then that one there. So in that compound there, we'll probably cook. So it'll be quicker to cook in a house. Do some repairs while we're here. Nope. Right, down to the house. This makes a really good place to build a base if you've got a clan base on Livonia. Do all the Zeds now. You little tinker. Because you can wall off the wall, turn it into a massive base down here. Make quite the farm out of it. And obviously you've got garages and you've got greenhouses and you've got sheds and why is it not letting me? Oh, we've got a crash, haven't we? Joy. What's ruined? Oh, that's ruined. It hasn't dropped it for some reason. Okay, that's fine. Do we have another knife? We might be reverting to the axe. It's alright, that's life. Okay. Normal thing, if you find someone's got a car ready to go, take that spark plug off them. Right, let's get this food cooked. Good house to build a base in. Really good house to build a base in. Even for a solo. There's so much work you can do in here. Get an airlock off the bottom basically. Leave yourself that exposed. But we're not base building at the moment. We are going to be cooking. So let's get a log. The quicker we can cook, the quicker we can get out of here. try something as well, but we'll try once we're back in here and we're sorted. Once the fire's going and we've cooked the food and we're ready to go. Dry firewood. Wait. Need something to make it light. That'll do. Bit of paper. We keep all our bits of paper, and we'll light it with a flare. Ignite. Burn that flare off. Get this meat cooking. We don't have a lot of meat, but burn that. Get that up there. Repair kit on us. Smock is ruined. Everything is pretty much fucked now, isn't it? Once we've eaten this lot, we'll do an inventory sort. Away from here. Like load mags and all that sort of fun stuff. Repair what if we need to repair anything that we can repair. Then we're running out of options for repairing now. But always, once you've cooked, get away from where you were cooking. For safety. Try and find something to hide in. It's not an exact science, but get some food down my neck. We do need to sleep as well. Let's help get our blood up and our energy up. Going for the beef because it's got the most nutritional value. We were hungry. Watching the icon to see when I get full stomach. There we are, got it. So now we'll get the sleep we need. Full stomach, and we're warm before it starts raining because it is Livonia. Get as much sleep as we can. Happy Saturday to everybody. I hope you're doing fine out there. Expect a fair amount of streaming of DayZ today from me, with some breaks when I may produce content in subsistence ready for to go out later in the week. And then probably tonight I won't be streaming because I'll be setting the PC up if I can get it to work with the new graphics card. Fingers crossed. All about driving power. So I've got to strip my machine down, get to the PSU, route in new cables, all that fun stuff. When we come out of this, we'll finish our food, and then I'm going to attempt to try something. I'm going to up the graphics quality because I'm playing mainly now on this server, so it's not a full-on PvP Chad fest. So we could have better graphics and rendering at far greater distances. I can make it look nicer, basically, because it's not going to cause me any more pain. Oh, our bloods and things are normal. We won't be seeing in black and white anymore. It's major for me. It's been a while. As far as we can go because it's daytime. That's fine. Let's eat the rest of our food. Sort some inventory out. So first thing to worry about is get that AK mag fully filled if we can, or filled as much as we can, because that is our last ditch. Players are in front of us. Burst of automatic fire weapon. That's full with as much of the ammo as we've got. Let's load up any other mags we can. Free ourselves up space basically. Is that all the 5.56? Yep. What's that running? 308. We do have 308 weapon. So let's unload that. Or do we? What's number 3? Is this 308? Can we get any more rounds inside? Not yet. Okay, that's fine. Bring that up there. Get this one unloaded. We don't have an AKM, but we're keeping the mag because we might have an AKM in the future. There we are. Back up to 49 rounds of that. Let's start moving things out of here and into here. We've got a double slot up there, so let's move that up. That's double. Let's do a little bit of organisation in here. That out and that out. That lengthways, bring that down, that down. Pick that one in there. That fills it up to the end. That's perfect. Space for 2 code locks if we get them, which is good. Okay, I think we're good to go. Pistol is 9 times 19. That's 45 ACP. That's fine. And we do still have a knife access. Good. Let's put a knife in there. Do our boots need repairing? No. Alright, we're good to go. So, we're going to make our way, basically, where we are, but there we're going to get a lot close. So we've got to make our way to about here. So we'll RV that. We'll stop it. Bang. Done. So you've got 4,000 metres to go. 4.5Ks to go. And we're going to up our graphic settings, weren't we? Options. Video. Oh, we're already on extreme. Okay, that's fine. Don't want it too bright, so there's about right. VSync certainly off because we've got a machine that will. Okay, that's good. So we've eaten. What we haven't done is drunk, but by eating that food we got hydration off it. You see our hydration is still going up, our food's still going up, so we're heading in the right direction, which is good. Always be careful, never go into the Badlands or the debug area. It's buggy, and on this server it's against the rules. So always stay where the ground is still operating. So if we can get the 4090 working, sorry, the 4090 if only, we can get the 4080 Lite, as I'm referring to it as, 4070 Super Ti, 4080 Lite. If we can get that working later, we can increase our draw distance in DayZ. So we'll be able to get full draw distance at 4K, which is massive. I might have worked out what the problem is with the graphics being slightly off colour in OBS. It's to do with the driver that's driving it, and the way everyone says to get around it is to like put something like VLC on as your video driver, because its drivers are better than the OBS version of the drivers. Because the screen that I'm seeing is slightly greener than the screen you guys see. It's, your version is slightly more washed out, and that's down to OBS's drivers not being as good as they could be. Fine. So home is 10k's away. Seems massive, but it ain't in DayZ. So we've now got to the limit of our hydration, but our food's still going up. Those 3 steaks and 2 chicken breasts have really done as well, and a mushroom. Our bloods are still going up, but they're nearly there now, and obviously our health is there. Brilliant. Where are we? There. There. Okay, come out past Code and Brody. So we're heading for here. We're heading for the stash that we found at the very beginning here. And then we'll hopefully find a code lock on it. If not, we'll still go code lock hunting, but we'll go code lock hunting in the north. We want 2 code locks because we want to put a code lock inside the base, and then I want to build an airlock on the outside with potentially a tower. So we've got a little bit of height in case anyone's looking around and we need to shoot them. But we need to get the airlock in place. If we only get 1 code lock, then airlock. Airlock's more important externally than internally. We need a way that when we come in, we open a door, and if we get shot, they've only got through 1 door and they're not in the base yet. See anything that we find like this out in the woods, we'll do a search of, because if we find our code locks before we go where we want to go, we'll take it. Another good little property for a base. Seen bases built here over the years. You know, it's not in the middle of nowhere, but you look, you know, it's a lone house. Hard to get road access to it. You can block off those windows reasonably easily. You've got a fireplace in here. You've got a natural airlock when you block both of those. Block off that. Build this as your main room. This is your kitchen. Toilet block's always good for random stuff. Wire. Yeah, if only we had pliers. And the nearest easy road, you can get a vehicle up through here if you take it slow. So there's a little track here. Makes it harder for vehicle raiders. There's your main ride in. Okay, we're halfway to our objective. We're going to need more bandages, so we're going to have to think about hitting something with bandages. And we're going to need a well, because we're going to need water. But we're sort of aware of all that, so we're doing okay. Obviously I put some markers on the map. I've got my base, I've got the well nearby base. The trader's already on there, I've got my HQ, I've got the enemy base, and I've got the bunker marked. They're just little points of reference that when I get killed and I'm running home, make life easier for myself without filling the map up. If I find bases, I'll mark them. Actually, that's a good point. I did find a base, didn't I? Or the beginning of one on the island. So, boom. We need to turn that into base. Dump. Okay. It shows up there. We always want to know where our competition is, or potential competition. Going to edge, your map is there. It's a shame that they never blocked off the edge of the map, and it would be too much for me to do on a map this size. I'm sort of planning. So next wipe, we're going to be moving to Frostline, or whatever they call it when that comes out. The wipe after that, I'm thinking we'll go where we went yesterday on the yesterday afternoon stream. Because it's a smaller map, I can do some work in finishing it off. And we can make our own take on it. Maybe run it as a snow map. And there's stuff to do there. There's a bit of lore, there's underground areas, there's caves. There's some nice assets. But I've got a few potential maps to run. But I'm going to get some feedback from the players probably next month of where they'd like to go after the DLC. Because then I can do some work in the background, getting stuff ready. In DayZ editor. And also whether we do go to Frostline, because if the majority of my player base aren't going to buy the new map, then is it fair to lose them all by going there? So I'll give them all their options and say, look, it's not till September, October we're looking at this wipe. but these are the options we're looking at. Which one would you like? So the next thing we're going to have to start thinking about now is water. So with there, I'm not going to go to Brenner for water. That pond might be alright. But it will be easier to go to somewhere like that. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to turn that to RV. Circle it, bang, done. Okay, we don't need then to purify. And we're in the right area to push our way down then to where we need to be. And it's where potentially we're going to build base number 2, which will just be a 1 code locked area. Basically, if we spawn up in these neck of the woods, we'll have somewhere to go to that allows us to re-gear without having to go all the way down south, all the way down north, up north, the word I was looking for. Quick search. Not had a restart, I don't think, since for a while, hour and 10. Surprised that doesn't have anything in it. Carry on pushing across. How's our footwear? Warm. As soon as it goes down 1, we'll repair them. We've got the repair kit to do it. Just a quick check of the server, make sure it's stable. Move on. Move up through the tree line for safety. Again, it's not an exact science, but you're working on the fact that you're a bit better camouflaged. And we've got to cover some distance to get where we need to get to. We will enter wolf territory at some point up here. If we do, we'll kill at least one of them and we'll cook and eat it, because keeping our food supplies up makes a lot of sense. You can hear a deer. Don't need the food, don't need to waste the calories hunting it down at the moment. Or waste the shot. And by waste the shot, I don't mean it's a wasted shot. Even if you miss, it's not wasted, you're getting better at it. We don't have a scope, which is not brilliant. but that shot might be enough to attract another player. If I had a silencer on this one, then I might be thinking differently. But I'd really like to get a scope on there. So we don't have a lot of choice now. We have to cross an open field. And we've got a pond nearby, have we, that we can use? No. But then we're getting into bunker areas. So I'm going to take that RV off. So I sort of know where I'm going now. I do anyway. So then if I get killed, we're not having an RV on there that we don't need, because we won't have a map. We just work on the markings that we've already got. It's always annoyed me that map markers aren't held on the server, they're held locally. So when you die, anything that you've got marked you'll still have. It would be really nice if the map markers were held on the server, not locally. So when you died, you lost your markers. Could really do with the game having, rather than storing them like they do, store it as a text file on the server. If I could write mods, I would be all for realistic mods. The other thing I'm going to be attempting to do, and this is a massive attempt, is build our first mod pack over the next few weeks. And try and move the mods that we've got that they allow us to into a mod pack itself, just to see if I can do it. No guarantee I will, but it would certainly make life easier if we could, because then we could reduce the amount of mods and we'd probably up the amount of players. And there's certain mods we use on every server. If they were allowed to be packed into a mod pack, we would. And then we can add a few more to it without it costing massive amounts of bandwidth problems. I'd like to put the angry bears back in. I'd like to put the barbed wire. Yeah, I want to hit that bunker, that. Probably that farm on our way in. Could do with a box of 9mm, because then we can load that pistol, which is really useful for Zeds, especially when we're in a town and we need something silenced. So I need to get back into the tree line, and I'm going to push into the note debug. People often stash things up here. You often find barrels. Edge of the map. Especially on vanilla. On vanilla, where you can jump between maps and whatever's in your inventory you hold as you jump. Someone's come through that and opened that. What people will do is they'll have a base on a really empty vanilla server. And they'll go there and they'll loot up and get all their gear. And then once they're looted, they'll then jump to a server for their PvP. And when they die, they'll jump back to the server with their bases and go and re-loot all their stash. I've never really liked the feature. I think that you shouldn't. I think if you jump servers, you should lose your inventory and have to start again. See, this would make a good little base location. Middle of nowhere. See, nothing really here. I'm going to push to that hut. Sometimes there's a sheep in that field. Too much time spent on Livonia. Obviously a lot of people weren't a fan of Livonia, whereas as you're working out, I'm a massive fan of Livonia. And by sheep, it could be a sheep, it could be a goat, it might be a cow. Well, probably won't be a cow here. It could be a sheep or goat or pig spawn. Again, this hut we're going to, if I can find it, is another good place to build a base. Little places miles away from everybody else. Places you can secure quite easily. Just a little hut like that. Flag up, one door. Couple of walls, wall blocking that, wall blocking that, door there, airlock built into this, and then airlock right round the outside of the building. Right, we'll now push to that bunker, out there. There it is. Never done a bunker build either. Always thought about building a base in one of these bunkers one day. Take that, because we do have one of those at home that will shoot that. More interested in the battery than I am the radio. But we need the radio for explosives. Actually, it's practical. Takes up less space. Not going to take the boots, which is really hard not to do. But we've got spare boots at camp that we can't repair. We've got a repair kit, so let's stay with what we've got at the moment. Makes quite a good base. That's me, Dion. Hi there, how are you? Welcome to the stream. A Looting-Goblin. Exactly. That's why I've got the name, because I collect loot. I collect loot. It's what I do. You know, all I do is pick shit up. We're hunting for codelocks. That's what we're doing. And hi and welcome. Oh, no pliers. If I had pliers, I'd take that. No, I'm really good, thank you. Really good. Into the farm. Quick search of that, and then over to the well, and then down to the airfield to unbury the stash. I've been playing 9 days now, love it. So you're 9 days into DayZ. Oh, I'm nearly 5,000 hours into DayZ. It's an amazing game. Yeah, just something so spectacular about it. So I was late to the DayZ party. I'm older. I'm 51, and I watched other people play it, but didn't play it myself for a long, long time. But everyone's a noob at some point, and the fact is, I was a noob 4.5 years ago. And we need those on this server, and those are like gold dust on this server. I'm 53. Okay, well, welcome to an amazing game. Like, this is my own server that I run. We do have players on it, but it's a more survival orientated server. But I play PvP servers as well. I play adventure servers. I don't do PvE. All the servers have a chance of being killed on them. But yeah, I love DayZ. I think it's amazing. I had 5 guns. Remember, all the loot is only yours for now, not forever. Do you play on PC or PlayStation, Xbox? Stay away from the Zeds. I only want the water up here. We're actually going for the stash point at the airfield. Being shot twice. You will get shot a lot in DayZ. Get used to dying, is my advice. PS5. Okay. Yeah, get used to dying in DayZ, because it will happen. Still pushing for the well. And learn the maps that you play. So you've got a choice of Chinaris or Livonia. Learn them and learn them. Just keep learning them. Obviously it's different on PC because we've got so many other maps that we can play. And mods. But if you enjoy it, no matter what platform you play on, it's amazing. Right, so we're going to push across to the well over there. Just looking for codelocks. Right, so now I'm nearly at the well. I'll drink all my water while scouting for Zeds. And other players, obviously. And try and keep moving, so a moving target is harder to shoot. So, back on track, let's get that filled. I got a 55, 69 and an AK-74. Are they good guns? 74 is. It's the round that matters in DayZ, not the gun. What's the 55? AK is it? No. Because I run, on this server, I run a mod that changes all the names to their correct names. So in my case, SKS, good weapon. Winchester 70, good weapon. But it's the ammunition that matters in DayZ, probably more than the zombies have killed me a lot. You will get used to dealing with zombies. It's a skill set that takes time. Some days I get killed, we all do. And I run a lot of zombies on this server, more than normal. But I don't have any food on the server, apart from, well, I have very little food. And instead make people hunt, shoot and fish to survive. Just checking barrels because people use them as stashes. What we're doing now is we're pushing for that entrance to the airfield because I know there's a stash point there. But we're going to go via the medical building because we want bandages. And we're trying to avoid zombies because we don't want to use up bandages just to get them. So we know we've got one there to deal with, so we push away what two to deal with. So let's be sensible. Put ourselves in the shed and use the window. Yeah. And that's how you sensibly deal with zombies. Oh, yeah, make use of things all the time. There's no point putting yourself into danger if you can get away with it. And so many windows you can punch through. Again, check the barrel in case someone's left anything in it. So the med centre is just near the farm up here, and then we'll push for the stash. Whereabouts are you in the world, Ian? I'm in the UK. And learning also on the servers that you play where the loot that you need spawns, what type of buildings. So knowing if you're base building, where to look. If you're after rucksacks, where to look. It's different if it's a community server, because they can alter the files. And they do, because I do. New Zealand. Okay. Never been over there. I have relatives out, yeah, South Island. I believe they're farmers out there. So I know there's always a fair amount of zombies around this hut. But we're going to make the run in because there's no point fighting them all. Open it, close it behind me, make sure that one's closed. Quickly close those doors. Now search. I just cook chickens. It's all we all do. We live off what we can survive on. And after bandages, there's one. I'll worry about the zombies. And I was kicked for unstable. Okay, we'll be back in a second. South Island, yeah. So on this server, there's a minute-long log out to stop combat logging. So as soon as we've stabled again, we'll go back in. Cook chicken on a fire, cook wolf, cook bear. So your best meat in order is bear meat, cow meat, fish. And then the rest of the meat is about equal, with chicken being the worst. I want to build a base. I'm going from house to house logging out. Base building in vanilla is difficult because you can raid in vanilla using ammunition. So it's very hard to make a secure base. Where base building on a modded server, so on here I have a proper building mod in place. So people can build proper houses. And I make it door only raiding and raidings with explosives. But on vanilla, so what you're playing, people can raid you using ammunition. So if you're going to build, think about small bases. Maybe think about making a improvised shelter using sticks. You can make the plan, and then you add like 50 sticks to it, and it gives you a little improvised shelter in the woods. You know where it is, and then you can bury maybe a few items around it. And it's just somewhere for you to use as a stash point. If you're playing on a server that's relatively empty, then base building can make a massive difference. Gives you somewhere to work from, but people will raid you. Obviously on PC things are different, and where I am on here things are massively different. So come back in. I need bandages, as we know. Don't care about blood bags. Only care about bandages. Okay, so that's that searched. I've lost my HUD, so because it does on crashes sometimes. So I disable it, I re-enable it. Back, continue. That's me low pop. Yeah, and that's the best place to be while you're learning, in all honesty. So we're now going to make our way down to here. Because we first logged in, the zombies won't have been placed around us. Now, when you play on a server, this airfield will have gas on it. I've turned the gas off on this airfield. Some pistol, don't want it. Always check the outhouses, the toilets, because there's a chance of nail spawns in them. So there's my first zombie. Because it's raining, the zombie won't hear me. So come in behind the zombie. Oh, it's seen me. No, come in behind. Knife out. And back away with your knife up. Always check their bodies. On this server, there's no point because I take out most of the loot off them to force players to do things differently. But we're now going to make our way down to the stash point and hopefully get ourselves a code lock. That's the aim. If we don't, we'll start hitting farms. No, that's the airfield. So I'm on a different map. I'm on Livonia rather than Chernarus. So this server I run on Livonia. Your Tissy is Chernarus. on the top right hand corner. So this map is Livonia, which you've also got included in your PlayStation. Big river. You will on Livonia you spawn around the river. On here we don't. I've altered it all, but you spawn around the river, and you up here in the north is the safer areas, and the good stuff is down in the south, and it's more of a survival map. So there's a lot more open spaces and hidden areas and animals. So it's more of a survival map. Things are slightly harder, and it rains all the time. But I like Livonia because it reminds me of home. I live in just outside the farming communities in the southwest of the UK, and this is very much like what I'm used to. Oh, Livonia is amazing, but I like Livonia. I'm a massive fan of Livonia, as you gathered. So my advice is, if you've got an AK, make sure your AK is always on fully auto. And that way, if you meet a player, you can put a full magazine of ammo into them. Because it's only 5.45, so you want to put in more than one round to a player if you've got the ammo to do it. Your country. Okay. Yeah, so I live in a town now, but I grew up in a small village, surrounded by farming, and a lot of my friends are farming people. I'm ex-army, which is probably why I was drawn to DayZ. But I was late to the party. I didn't start playing DayZ until I was like 46, 45, 46. Well, no, actually later than that. It's, I'm 50, yeah, 46. 46 I started playing DayZ. As you said, you're later to the party. It's a good game though. I play this, and I play a game called Subsistence, which is another survival sim, but single player, and that's about all I play. Oh, Manor Lords, my medieval simulator, but I don't really play a lot of games. I just spend a lot of time in the games I do play. Alright, we are there. You need to come right down till I get to the checkpoint, and then we will try and dig up the stash if it's available. And then we need to make our way home if we get a code lock, and if we don't, we still need to go code lock hunting. So Livonia is harder than Chernarus, but probably easier to survive once you get away from the start points, because it's so big and open. It's an amazing game. It's an amazing game. You've only got DayZ. It's all you need. It's really all you need. I say that with tongue in cheek, but you know, I've got just under 5,000 hours in DayZ in 4.5 years. It takes over, and every time that you load in and play, it's a different experience. And you've got a choice of well, you've got 2 massive maps to play. Alright, we need to do this a little bit silently. There's a lot of Zeds around here. We'd rather not alert them unless we have to. Nothing to do, mate. I'm on his arm, because you can hurt the arm when it glitches through. There you go. How's my foot trousers? They're ruined, but they're camouflaged, so I'll stay with my ruined camouflage ones. 12 hours for 9 days now. I'm so glad you've come to the DayZ party. That's got some tools in it, but I don't care. What I want is the stash that's underneath it. It's not there. Someone's dug it up already. Okay, so we'll take that. That's worn. That's pristine. We'll swap them over. I just need a quick comfort break, so we're going to get clear of here and get under a bush. And I'll have the comfort break. Oh, 100% best game ever. Right, I'll be right back. I'm just going to have a comfort break a second. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for waiting. Best game ever. I played Age of Empires years ago, but it's not around anymore. Okay. So I've been gaming since I was a child. Right, we need farms now. Farms and industrial. So we'll push this way. I don't want to shoot because I need to save my knife. We're still looking for a code lock. So on this server you also have to sleep, because I've got a mod in to make people sleep, so I make it even harder. And I put crocodiles in, because hey, who doesn't want crocodiles in a game? So my rivers and ponds and pools and lakes have a chance of a crocodile spawn. We're going to push past here and we're going to go up to the castle. So our next spot to look for what we need. And en route we should be able to kill ourselves a deer. How's our footwear? Warm. It's fine. So we need to get past the airfield. I hung around shops playing in the early 80s. Crocs, nice. Yeah. So on Livonia, you've got this big river that divides the south and the north. So what I've done is I've edited the bridges so you can only drive vehicles over one bridge to channel players into kill zones, and then I've put a chance of crocodiles in the rivers and pools to stop players swimming across. So you're channeling players, you're making life a bit difficult, and because it's a random chance of them appearing, it means that you never know whether they're going to appear or not. And they don't move very quick, they move slow, but they move in packs of 6 at a time. They've got like 5 times the strength of a bear. They move like wolves, they encircle you, but when they knock you out they keep biting till they kill you. So you'll come round and they'll be back biting you again. Nah, it's fine, it's not a problem. I knew what you meant, I knew what you meant. Never be sorry. So our next push is for that castle there, and then down to Bailawa, however you pronounce it, and then industrial here, then Toplin, and then home. Yeah, so that's what I do, is when I design a map, I try and make people... So I take a map like Livonia, and then I edit it and add more stuff in. And I try and force players into what I would call a kill zone. But forcing them together means there's more likely to be PvP. Because as much as I run this as a survival server, it's a survival server with no safe zones. The only place I don't allow building is the trader. And my trader trades using nails as currency. And I limit the amount of nails on the map. So I make a more survival build. As I said, I take all the food out. I not all of it. There's a chance of food, but there's like one of each food item on the map at a time. So all the other food, fishing, hunting, shooting, growing vegetables is how you get it. Which makes it, to me, a bit more realistic. And I like that level of realism in the game. And I have a small player base. I have about 15 people that play on a regular basis, but they all enjoy the level of hardness that I've made it. It's not impossible. Yeah, so on PC you can do so much more, because you can mod it, you can edit it, you know, I've built new castles, I've changed, I put a trader in, as I said. We've got to build a better building mod in. If I want to put a flag up, it's an instant flag. I've got code locks, I've got breaching charges for raiding. I've got different storage options. No, come on. But it's... So on PC it's a different game because of all the modded stuff. You know, there's something like 11,000 mods that you can have in DayZ on PC. Everything from maps to different weapon systems. You know, I've got all my weapons named correctly. That's a mod. So the AK is not a KA, it's an AKS 74U. Because that's what it's called in the real world. And I think because I'm ex-army, I like all that sort of stuff. Right, we need to find another animal to kill. We're going to need a bit of a sleep. And we're alright. 25% on sleep. I just wish the PlayStation and Xbox had a bit more you could do on them. But a lot of what I do is in game is what you do in your version. It's vanilla. You know, moving around, hunting, shooting, fishing. observing, working out where it's safe to move. Keep it real. Yes. Yeah, so apart from the zombies, I want things to feel real. I want the game to feel like this really is the end of the world. Now, I take all the tents out. Normally I take all the cars out, but my players wanted cars this wipe, so I've given them cars. But normally I wouldn't. It's not me. In my head, all the vehicles were driven off 11 years ago when the outbreak happened, and all the tents went with people. But so tents I've still got out of here. But I've put cars in just for this wipe because that's what the players wanted. And, you know, at the end of the day, I run the server, but the people that play it all the time, they're the people that keep it going. And sometimes we have 4 or 5 people on at a time. Sometimes it's just one person. But I've made the server hard enough that even on your own, it's hard going. I have everything spawning damaged or completely ruined. You know, everything feels, you know, your clothes are ruined all the time. There's a lack of ammunition. You're fighting the map to stay alive, as you said. Yes, very much so. That's the biggest challenge. And then you meet a player and you might kill each other. So I see it that I make survival servers. That's what I do, is I do survival. And then we change the map 4 times a year. And go somewhere new and have a new experience. And then rotate it every 4 times a year. How are we doing? We are there. We need to push over a little bit. I don't want to go into that mill. I don't need to. Get to about there. So like you're used to, you don't get a map until you find one. I do that on here. When players don't have a map, they can't see anything. They need to find a map in the game or buy one from the trader to actually get a map they can use, which I think is more realistic. But then once they've got a map, I allow them to put map markers on, like I've got my markers over there. I allow them to have that in 3D once they found a map. I don't have helicopters on here. There are helicopters mods for DayZ on PC, but I don't have helicopters. I don't have airdrops. I do have treasure, so you might find little photographs, and you can then, they'll take you off. If you find where they're hidden to and dig it up, you get extra loot, so it makes you explore the map. Now we should be pushing about right now, so if we push that way, we're aiming for that castle basically. I was running in circles for days. It's all we do when you first start off learning the map. Give me a second, let me get under a bush. I'll give you a link to a website that will help you no end, that will work for your version, my version. Let me just get under a bush. Let's get the link for you. Okay, that's got all the maps on it for DayZ. So for your case, Chernarus is on there. Once you can work out where you are, that will then show you where all the wells are and the medical and the police and military camps. So it will help you find your way around. If you've got a printer, print out a copy of it. So then once you work out where you are, life becomes easier. I Survive is massive in the DayZ community of making life easier. That's okay. If you register an account on there, it's free. You can mark the map as well. So say you were hiding a stash. Say you had a barrel. So let's tell you how to run a barrel. That's the best thing for you. So if you hide things in DayZ, after a server restart, trees regrow. So if you had a barrel now, and we cut this tree down, and then we put a barrel right in the centre of the roots with the top of it open, after the server restart, the tree will grow back, but the barrel's hidden. And when you run up, you can access the inventory of the barrel still without cutting the tree down. And then you can hide things inside the tree. Which means that you can have little stashes of stuff hidden away. And it lasts for about 14 real days. And unless people know that you're at that tree, as long as you know which tree is yours, you can find your stash. Right, we are here. So if we push that way, there you go. And that way you could have 150 slots inside a barrel hidden inside a tree that you know where the tree is, and you can stick in there ammunition, first aid, some tins of food, and then when you die you make your way back to that barrel or that tree. You re-gear up, and you don't need to cut down the tree anymore. So you can just run up to the tree, drop things off and run away again. So players don't, if they're watching you for a scope, they don't know what you're doing. I Survived, was it? Yeah. So for you, at your level, that's probably better than a base. A hidden barrel inside a tree. It's about 14 days they last for, depending on the server settings before they despawn. But as long as you're going to it every few days, it will keep resetting that 14-day rule. And if you have a few of those around the map, you've got survival caches basically of stuff hidden away. Right, we need to get to the castle. So we need to now go 12 o'clock and up through. We are going to need to hunt or fish soon. We're going to need food. But when we come away from the castle, okay, is that the blue route? Yes. So if we follow the blue markings, that will take us to the castle. Or away from it if we're facing the wrong way. No, we're facing it, that's fine. Yeah, restock your stashes. So how I would do it is if you die, you run to a stash, you rearm, and then you spend the next couple of hours restocking that stash. And then you die somewhere else, you go to a different stash. And if you get like one of those little blue cookers, like the gas bottle with the cooker on top, and put one of those in the barrel with a pot on it, you can then cook without lighting a fire. And if you put water in the pot and you always boil your food, you'll get hydration as well as food out of it. But there's lots of stashes areas. In the fire station, there's a door that you can't open that you can just see behind, and there's like a can of drink dispenser in there. You can stick a barrel behind that door that you can access still. So this is one of my modded castles. There is a castle here, but it's ruined. But this is a mod that I've put in and helped build to make it a proper castle. I don't know if anyone's living here, so you have to be a little bit careful. It helps that I'm running it in 4K. Nasty zombie. Right then. Now. We're looking for a stash. Yeah, chicken meat is the least good. Bear is the best. Oh, we'll swap over our ski mask because ours is worn. That one's also worn, but it's newer worn. Also, try and limit walking on rocks because you'll ruin your footwear more. Mace, don't need. Spare hunting knife, I will take. Okay, I'm not going to waste any more time looking for a stash. So we're now going to head down to Livonia, and we're going to search all of this for a code lock. So I'm going to set an RV for the outer edge there. And that will show up with my map as RV. Yeah, so you will bleed out. You can make improvised rags, so you can turn rags into footwear. So our boots are now damaged, so we take cover, well, ish. We take a leather sewing kit, we drag our boots onto it, and I don't know how it works in your world, but we patch our boots, repair them. So now they're back to being worn. Okay, so there's mushrooms here, which on normal servers could mean that there's a player around. On my server it doesn't always mean the same. So on a normal server, if you find a mushroom, it means that someone has been there within the last 20 minutes. So it's ground sign. It's things to look for. If you're running through woods and you find mushrooms that are not rotten, you know there's a player just in front of you. Or just past you and you didn't see them in the woods. Also, if you've run out of food, come into the woods, sit under a tree for about 10 minutes, you'll find there's mushrooms spawning around you. Eat your mushrooms. Which will help you survive. It's not as good as meat, but it will keep you alive. Same with apples and pears. Takes about 10 minutes for them to spawn in. And you have to be within 300 meters of them for them to spawn. So there's another something down there. Push across. So it's rotten. Now on my server it's slightly different because I have them spawn in all the time to full players. Yeah, mushrooms can keep you alive. You can dry them and cook them. You'll always get better nutrition from anything if you cook it. At night, if you're being pursued by zombies and you've got a flare, rip the flare and throw it on the ground lit, because the zombies are attracted to the light and they'll chase after the flare. Help you escape or help you get into a place. So you throw that on the ground, all the zombies run to it and you go off and go in by a different direction. I just carry it for lighting fires easily. Okay, my character does need to sleep again, so we need a little boost of sleep before it gets before suddenly it starts raining. So we're going to find ourselves a bush to get under, because we don't want to run out of sleep when we're looting. So here looks good. Again, this is a mod. And I need a little boost to my sleep. Making players sleep on a server. My guys love it, other players hate it. We're just going to get ourselves a boost to about 50%, because we have to be inside, we have to be dry, and it has to be night time to get it to 100%, or we take a stimulation drug that we can get on this server that gets you to 100%. You'll learn so much in DayZ as you play and watch people stream. You know, just talking to players that are happy to tell you what they're doing can help you learn an awful lot, because there is so much to learn. It's a massive learning curve. When we get to this town, I'll try and explain how zombies work. There we go. So zombies will have their arms by their sides, like relaxed. And if their arms are relaxed, it means that they're just walking around. They haven't seen anyone. If their hands clench and their shoulders like lean forward, then they're searching for a player. So if before you go in somewhere you've got a scope and you look in that town and you see zombies that have got their like shoulders bunched forward and their fists clenched, you know there's a player in that town. and you know it's close to where the zombie is. Like you, I just learnt heaps. Just watch people playing. And playing, as long as they're not playing heavily modded servers, or heavily modded away from vanilla. Doesn't matter if it's PC, X or PlayStation, you'll learn. And I'm always happy to teach people DayZ stuff. I'm a such a massive fan, and I love I want the community. I think everyone should play DayZ, you know. So now I'm going to get rid of my RV, because I'll just search buildings, and it's sheds. I want to search toilets, outhouses, industrial. We need to have a little look at the church in case there's something there that I need. Farms. We're looking for stuff to take home to make our life easier. Not a bad game to be addicted to. As games go, it's a good game. We're just going to push the church a second. Bloody zombies. This is the longest I've been playing in 9 days. Okay. Massive, lighter. Some 9mm ammo, again massive. Don't need a wrench. So one of the things I allow players to do on my server is you can rip up clothes with your hands, because it's realistic. Just takes time. And then you get rags from that. See, there's a can of food. Very, very rare on this server. Very rare. Piece of rope. Now, we might need that for some fishing. So we're full of gear now. So if we find a code lock, we're going to have to throw stuff away. You're going to use all the stuff you've just learned. And that's what it's about. It's about learning those little things to help you survive. Don't need. Yeah, it's little things, isn't it? Sometimes it's just those little things that make it a little bit more real. It's not an exact science. There's still going to be zombies running around. So it's still a zombie game. Packet of crisps on a battery we need 100%. We'll eat the crisps because we don't get food very often on this server, so I'm looking for a code lock. Lying down instead of aiming. It's pushing the wrong buttons that get me. You'll learn though. You will learn. Do I need it? I probably do. Can I carry it? I probably can't. Throw away something. I don't need the 45. Move the nails up to there because they I do need. That's got a battery in it. That one probably hasn't. I need those for explosives. I could do away with that because we can make other stuff. So on my server we need screwdrivers to move stuff around your house. Okay, we didn't find what we were looking for. We're going to hit industrial. Pull away because you've got another one there you don't want to get involved with. Okay, he's cut me. So try and take them where you want them. Quick check of the body. A piece of rope, we've already got a piece. Nothing on there. Get clear because if someone's watching, now's when they'll shoot you. Now, bandage. And the reason we're getting injured a lot is because our clothing. So we've got to hit that farm, and then we've got to hit that industrial. Then there, and hope to get a code lock out of it. So that player's searching. That zombie searching that I can see at a great distance. If I had a scope, I could show this so much better. where that zombie isn't yet. Its arms are bunched. It knows there's something around. Let's show you how to do the barrel thing. I've got the resources to do this, so at least showing you is better than telling you. So you've got two big trees here, lots of big trees here. So you'd have to remember where you were, or mark it on the I Survived map. A big tree, get your axe in your hand, cut the tree down. And remember it's there that it grows back. Put your axe away. Deploy the barrel. Here you can't deploy unless you're in a territory, but drop it. Open it. When the tree grows back, that barrel will be inside the tree, and you can still have 150 slots to hide things in. Running shoes, I'm only worn, but a bit more 9mm. We do need the 9mm, but I'm not massively worried about it. Sun setting. So on this server I have daytime advance in real time and nighttime quickly. So we get really long days, but really short nights. Something inside that bag. Torch. No, nothing I need. I'm looking for a code lock. I don't need a base, especially running everywhere. Yeah, you just need stashes. I'm doing that everywhere. Yeah, go for it. It makes sense. So the reason we're doing this by a door is because it's easier to channel them. Quick search of the bodies. Got one more to take on. Let's take him. Job done. Always throw the torch out. Check if it's got a battery in it. Now we can search without zombies bothering us. Rope. I can hear a zombie there, so I'll shut the door. If you going to build a base though, on vanilla, build here. Because this will let you build walls inside on vanilla. So what you play, you can put a wall there, a gate there, a gate there, a gate there, and gates inside here. Now we need that. What are we going to throw away? Well, we're going to eat the sardines. Because that way we've got space for the multivits. What's that? 357, don't need that. Now let's load our pistol, seeing we're here. Oh, we don't have a mag for it even. Oh, in which case, it's just single load. Okay, that's fine. Because it's single load, which we got a round in it. Or do this with zombies. Come to me, Mr. Zombie. Use voice over IP to bring them to you. I'm here. So we've searched that place. Get clear. Work out where you're going to go next. Down to that farm. Hunting stands are your friend. Weapon cleaning kit. While we're here, we don't need to clean any weapons. That's fine. I'm going to show you some other stash points as we're running around, if I find anything that's useful. There's the farm up there. So with I think is it 7 nails or something like 10 nails and 7 planks, you can make a wooden box. The wooden box you can bury barrels as well for that matter, but you can also hide them inside certain buildings and areas where people wouldn't expect them to be. Another barrel, always check them in case someone's hiding stuff inside them. Because everyone's thinking like you are. Multivits in there. Let's go get the multivits. Backup knife. Backup knife. So you can stick the, on the other side, stick the box underneath there, inside that thing. People don't ever look there. Can also put the wooden box inside car engines. Again, people don't look. Battery. No space for the battery. Our vest is damaged. Now I've seen it. Putty and repair the vest. Freed up that. Now let's bring up. Okay. I thought we found more bandages than that. Did we use them all up? Oh dear. So now we need to change our perception of what we're doing. We need to hit this industrial 100%, so it's a better chance of getting what we want out of it. So I'll put my RV point there. I also realise that night time's coming, but night times are quick. Well, Mr. Looting-Goblin, I'm going to put one practice. I'm subbed. I'll catch you later on or next stream. Good luck and have a good run. See you. Thank you for being here. Massively appreciated. Thank you for the sub. And put what you've learnt into practice. And anytime you have a question, ask. Bloody zombies. Let's move to our next RV. Laters, yeah. Have a good evening. Seeing it's morning my time. Food will be our next issue. So we're probably going to lie up here stream, and I will see you later when we shall continue. It's been a good 2 hours. I'll be back in a couple of hours time to do it again. Remember, if you've got a goblin in your sights, miss.